Let me start with a bold truthing: the breakfast you've been told is healthy might actually be destroying your health. For decades we've been sold a lie at the grocery store, by the media, and even by some nutrition experts, one that's led to a nationwide epidemic of fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, and chronic disease. Most common breakfasts are sugar bombs disguised as health food. This may sound shocking, but when we take a closer look at what's typically eaten in the morning, it becomes clear that many of these foods are far from nourishing. Instead of giving our bodies the fuel they need to thrive, these popular breakfast choices often deliver a rush of sugar that sends our insulin levels soaring and sets us up for a crash just a couple of hours later. Think about what's marketed as a healthy breakfast. Cereal is a staple in many households. Brightly colored boxes claiming to be whole grain, fortified with vitamins, and even heart healthy. But most cereals, even the ones labeled as natural or low fat, are loaded with added sugars and highly refined carbohydrates. Whether it's cornflakes, granola, or so-called high-fiber options, these cereals are quickly broken down into glucose in the bloodstream, causing a sharp rise in blood sugar. The result? A temporary energy high followed by a mid-morning slump that leaves you hungry, irritable, and reaching for more carbs. And not just cereal. Many people start their day with toast, white or even whole wheat, slathered with jam, peanut butter, or butter. But bread, even whole grain, is another refined carbohydrate that turns to sugar once digested. Pair that with fruit juice, which is often seen as a health drink, and you're essentially drinking liquid sugar with none of the fiber that whole fruit provides. One glass of orange juice can contain as much sugar as a can of soda, yet it's considered a standard breakfast beverage. This is a perfect storm for a blood sugar spike. Smoothies are another breakfast trap. While they seem like a great way to pack in nutrients, many store-bought or even homemade smoothies contain excessive amounts of fruit, sweetened yogurt, fruit juice, or honey. The sugar content in a typical, healthy smoothie can easily rival that of a dessert. Without sufficient protein, fat, or fiber, that smoothie digests quickly and contributes to the roller coaster of blood sugar highs and lows throughout the day. Then there are baked goods, muffins, bagels, pancakes, waffles, all considered common breakfast foods. While they may taste delicious, they are essentially sugar and refined flour, often accompanied by sweet toppings like syrup, jelly, or whipped cream. Healthy versions of these foods, like bran muffins or protein pancakes, are often loaded with hidden sugars, processed ingredients, and empty calories that do little to nourish your body or keep you full. Yogurt is another breakfast food that has been rebranded as a health product. But not all yogurts are created equal. Flavored yogurts, especially fruit on the bottom varieties, often contain more sugar than a candy bar. Even some low-fat, or Greek, yogurts marketed for weight loss or wellness can have up to 20 grams of sugar per serving. Combine that with granola, a topping high in sugar and refined carbs, and you've got a breakfast that's far more dessert than fuel. What makes these breakfasts particularly harmful is not just the sugar content, but how they affect your hormones and metabolism. Eating high-sugar foods first thing in the morning causes a spike in insulin, the hormone responsible for moving sugar out of the bloodstream and into cells. When insulin levels spike repeatedly over time, the body can become resistant to its effects, leading to a host of metabolic problems including weight gain, inflammation, and eventually insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. High-sugar breakfasts also fail to provide the essential macronutrients your body needs to function optimally. Protein is critical for building and repairing tissues, regulating hormones, and keeping you full for longer periods. Healthy fats support brain function, hormone production, and cell health. Fiber aids digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports a healthy gut microbiome. When your breakfast is mostly sugar and refined carbs, you miss out on all these benefits and set the stage for poor food choices throughout the rest of the day. Another problem is that these foods are engineered to be hyper-palatable and addictive. The food industry knows that combining sugar with fat and salt makes products more desirable and harder to resist. This is why people often feel compelled to keep eating, even when they're not hungry. Starting the day with sugary foods can hijack your taste buds and make it harder to choose whole, nourishing foods later in the day. It sets off a cycle of cravings, snacking, and poor energy regulation that affects mood, productivity, and even sleep. Moreover, these sugar-laden breakfasts are often devoid of micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals that your body needs to perform basic functions. Even though many products are fortified with synthetic nutrients, this is no replacement for the natural vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants found in real whole foods. Relying on unprocessed breakfast items means missing out on the healing and protective properties of foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and healthy proteins that could otherwise be part of your morning routine. And perhaps one of the biggest concerns is the normalization of these choices. We're conditioned from a young age to believe that sugary cereals, pastries, and juices are acceptable morning meals. This pattern gets passed down from generation to generation, forming habits that are hard to break. It's a cultural issue as much as a nutritional one. When something is so ingrained in our daily life and reinforced by advertising, changing it can feel unnatural, even though the benefits of doing so are profound. Changing your breakfast habits starts with awareness. Recognize what you're putting into your body each morning and how it makes you feel afterward. Are you energized, focused, and satisfied? Or are you sluggish, foggy, and hungry again by 10 a.m.? The answer lies in the quality of the food you consume. Once you understand that many so-called healthy breakfasts are really just sugar bombs in disguise, you gain the power to make different choices that truly nourish and support your body. Ultimately, breakfast should be about more than convenience and taste. It should be the foundation for a day of balanced energy, mental clarity, and metabolic health. When you shift away from sugary, processed breakfast foods and begin to choose meals rich in protein, healthy fats, and fiber, you'll notice a difference not only in your morning, but in your whole day. The first step is to question what you've been taught and take control of what goes on your plate. That's how you begin to rebuild your health. Starting with breakfast. High carb, low protein mornings spike insulin and crash energy. This is a critical concept when it comes to understanding how our food choices directly impact how we feel and function throughout the day. Many people begin their mornings with meals dominated by carbohydrates and lacking sufficient protein. These breakfasts often seem light, quick, and even healthy on the surface. Think toast with jam, a banana, a muffin, or a bowl of cereal with milk. But underneath, they create a hormonal storm that throws your metabolism off balance from the very start of your day. When you eat a meal high in carbohydrates, particularly refined or simple carbs like bread, cereal, pastries, or sugary drinks, your body rapidly digests these foods into glucose or sugar in the bloodstream. This causes your blood sugar to spike sharply. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, a hormone whose job is to move glucose out of the bloodstream and into your cells where it can be used for energy or stored. While this is a natural and essential process, problems arise when the insulin surge is too large and too frequent, as is often the case with high-carb breakfasts. A spike in insulin does more than lower blood sugar. It also promotes fat storage, especially around the abdomen, and suppresses the body's ability to burn fat for fuel. When insulin is high, your body essentially locks fat away, making it unavailable as an energy source. At the same time, the rapid removal of sugar from your bloodstream can lead to a quick drop in blood glucose levels, often referred to as a crash. This crash can leave you feeling tired, foggy, irritable, and craving more sugar or carbs to bring your energy back up. And so begins the cycle: spike, crash, crave, repeat. This roller coaster has become so normalized that many people don't even realize they're on it. They just assume it's natural to feel tired mid-morning, to need another cup of coffee, or to reach for a snack to get through to lunch. But these symptoms are not inevitable. They're the result of unstable blood sugar and inadequate nutrient balance in your meals, and the root often starts at breakfast. Protein plays a key role in preventing this cycle. Unlike carbohydrates, protein has a minimal effect on blood sugar and helps slow the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream when eaten alongside carbs. It also supports the release of hormones that promote satiety, helping you feel full and satisfied longer. When you eat a protein-rich breakfast, you are less likely to overeat later in the day, and you experience more stable energy levels and improved mental focus. Unfortunately, most people don't eat nearly enough protein in the morning. A typical breakfast might contain only 5 to 10 grams of protein, far below the 25 to 35 grams many experts recommend for optimal metabolism and muscle maintenance. Without enough protein, your body is also missing the amino acids it needs to repair tissues, build neurotransmitters, and support immune function. Skipping protein first thing in the day also means your body doesn't get the signal to start muscle protein synthesis, which is especially important as you age and naturally lose muscle mass. The lack of protein at breakfast becomes even more problematic when combined with high glycemic foods, those that raise blood sugar quickly. These include things like pancakes, waffles, sweetened yogurt, and even seemingly healthy items like granola bars or fruit smoothies. These foods are digested rapidly, leading to a burst of energy followed by a steep drop, causing you to feel sluggish and mentally foggy. The brain is especially sensitive to changes in blood sugar, and that's why so many people have trouble concentrating or feeling low energy after eating a high-carb breakfast. This pattern not only affects how you feel today, but also has long-term consequences. Repeated insulin spikes can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells no longer respond effectively to insulin. This forces your pancreas to produce even more insulin to get the same job done, which can eventually lead to chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. High insulin levels are also linked to inflammation, which plays plays a role in nearly every major chronic illness. Many people unknowingly live in a near constant state of mild insulin resistance, driven by their food choices, and it often begins in the morning. Your first meal of the day sets the hormonal tone for the rest of the day. If you start with a blood sugar roller coaster, your body will spend the entire day trying to stabilize itself, often resulting in poor food choices, low energy, and unstable moods. In contrast, when you start your day with a meal that prioritizes protein and includes healthy fats and fiber, your body enters a much more stable metabolic state, your blood sugar remains steady, your insulin response is balanced, and you're less likely to experience energy crashes or cravings. You stay fuller longer, which can help you eat less overall and make better decisions at lunch and dinner. Your brain gets a steady supply of fuel, and you're more focused and productive. It's not just about avoiding sugar or carbs altogether, it's about balance. When carbs are paired with protein and fat, their impact on blood sugar is significantly reduced. For example, eating eggs with avocado and a side of vegetables has a vastly different effect on your body than eating a bagel with cream cheese or a sugary smoothie. The former supports steady energy and hormone function, the latter disrupts it. Ultimately, if you want to improve your energy, stabilize your mood, reduce cravings, and support long-term health, changing what you eat in the morning is one of the most powerful steps you can take. The science is clear: high-carb, low-protein breakfasts set you up for a day of imbalance, while protein-rich, low-sugar meals create a foundation of stability and wellness. It's not about dieting or restriction. It's about feeding your body what it truly needs to function at its best. Start your day with that in mind, and everything else becomes easier. A protein and fat-rich breakfast fuels metabolism and brain power. This idea may seem contrary to conventional wisdom, which has long pushed low-fat, high-carb breakfast foods as the ideal way to start the day. But emerging science and the experiences of thousands of people tell a different story, one where prioritizing protein and healthy fats in your first meal dramatically improves your energy, focus, mood, and overall health. When you eat a breakfast rich in protein and healthy fat, you provide your body with the foundational nutrients it needs to function optimally throughout the day. Protein is made up of amino acids, which are essential for building and repairing tissues, producing enzymes and hormones, and supporting immune function. It also plays a critical role in regulating blood sugar and satiety hormones, helping you feel full and stable for hours. Fat, on the other hand, is not the enemy it was once made out to be. Healthy fats, such as those found in avocados, nut seeds, olive oil, eggs, and fatty fish, are vital for brain health, cellular integrity, and hormone production. Unlike a carbohydrate-heavy meal which causes a quick surge and subsequent crash in blood sugar, protein and fat digest more slowly, leading to a more gradual release of glucose into the bloodstream. This slower digestion helps keep energy levels even and sustained, preventing the mid-morning slump that sends many people reaching for snacks or caffeine. The result is better appetite control, fewer cravings, and a sharper, more alert mind. Your metabolism also benefits significantly from a protein and fat-focused breakfast. Consuming protein in the morning helps stimulate a process known as muscle protein synthesis, which is essential for maintaining and building lean muscle mass. Muscle is metabolically active tissue, meaning it burns more calories even at rest. The more muscle mass you have, the more efficient your metabolism becomes. By eating protein early in the day, you kickstart this process and help preserve muscle, especially important as we age and naturally lose lean body mass. Fat also plays a critical role in metabolic health. Certain fats, like omega-3 fatty acids, have anti-inflammatory properties and support cardiovascular function. Medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, found in coconut oil and some dairy products, are rapidly absorbed and used by the liver for energy, rather than being stored as fat. Including these types of fats in your breakfast can help improve insulin sensitivity and promote fat burning throughout the day. From a cognitive perspective, the brain thrives on stable blood sugar and high-quality nutrients. When you begin your day with a meal rich in protein and fat, your brain receives a steady flow of energy and the building blocks it needs to create neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. These brain chemicals influence your mood, focus, motivation, and sense of well-being. A breakfast that includes eggs, avocado, nuts, or smoked salmon, for example, can enhance cognitive performance and keep your mind sharp well into the afternoon. Compare that to a typical high-carb breakfast like cereal and juice, which might give you a quick burst of energy but then leave you feeling mentally foggy, distracted, and tired. This mental crash isn't just inconvenient. It can affect your productivity, decision-making, and even how you interact with others. A balanced breakfast with protein and fat supports better mental resilience and emotional stability throughout the day. Another benefit of this kind of breakfast is the impact on hormone regulation. Hormones like ghrelin, leptin, and cortisol play a significant role in hunger, satiety, and stress response. Eating protein in the morning suppresses ghrelin, the hormone that signals hunger, and boosts peptide Y and GLP-1, which promote fullness. Meanwhile, cortisol, a hormone that naturally rises in the morning, helps mobilize energy stores and promotes alertness. A balanced breakfast helps modulate cortisol levels, keeping them in a healthy range and preventing the kind of dysregulation that leads to fatigue, weight gain, and anxiety over time. One of the most powerful aspects of choosing a protein and fat-rich breakfast is its ability to shift your overall eating patterns. When you begin the day with nutrient-dense, satiating foods, you're less likely to overeat later, binge on snacks, or make poor food choices out of convenience or cravings. You develop a steadier rhythm of eating that supports your body's natural cycles of hunger and energy. Over time, this not only improves how you feel but also supports long-term goals like weight management, reduced inflammation, and better digestive health. It's also worth noting that these benefits are accessible to nearly everyone. Whether you follow a plant-based, omnivorous paleo, or keto eating pattern, there are ways to create a protein and fat-rich breakfast that works for you. Plant-based proteins like tofu, tempeh, legumes, chia seeds, and nut butters can be combined with healthy fats to create filling, energizing meals. Animal-based options like eggs, smoked salmon, turkey sausage, and Greek yogurt unsweetened offer a quick and convenient way to load up on high-quality protein and fat. Adding vegetables, herbs, spices, and fermented foods can further enhance the nutrient density and support gut health. Changing your breakfast doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It can be as simple as replacing toast and jam with scrambled eggs and avocado, swapping a sugary smoothie for one made with protein powder, spinach, almond butter, and unsweetened almond milk, or trading cereal for full-fat Greek yogurt with nuts and seeds. These small shifts can make a massive difference in how you feel and function throughout the day. Ultimately, a breakfast built around protein and fat is a form of self-care. It's a way to tell your body and brain that they matter, that you're willing to invest in your energy, clarity, and vitality. It's about making a deliberate choice to rise above the food industry's marketing messages and reclaim your health with each bite. When you fuel your body with the nutrients it truly needs, you don't just survive the day, you thrive through it. Swap processed carbs for whole, nutrient-dense real foods. This simple shift can transform your energy, metabolism, and overall health more than almost any other change you make to your diet. Processed carbohydrates are everywhere in our modern food environment. They're cheap, convenient, and aggressively marketed as healthy, but the truth is that these foods often do more harm than good. They're stripped of fiber, loaded with added sugars, and designed to digest quickly, causing blood sugar spikes, energy crashes, and long-term metabolic damage. When we talk about processed carbs, we're referring to foods like white bread, pastries, crackers, chips, cookies, sweetened breakfast cereals, white rice, pasta, and even many so-called whole grain products that have been highly refined. These foods are made from ingredients that have been altered to extend shelf life, improve texture, and make them more palatable. In the process, they lose much of their original nutritional value. Fiber, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals are removed, leaving behind empty calories that flood your system with glucose and offer little in return. The problem with processed carbs isn't just the sugar content. It's how they're absorbed and how they affect your body at the hormonal level. These foods digest rapidly, entering the bloodstream almost immediately and causing a spike in blood sugar. This triggers the release of insulin, the hormone that helps shuttle glucose into your cells. But when this happens repeatedly, day after day, your body becomes less sensitive to insulin. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, which is at the root of many chronic diseases including type 2 diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver, and even cognitive decline. Beyond metabolic health, these foods also have a profound impact on your energy and mood. After a spike in blood sugar, your body often overcorrects and crashes, leaving you feeling tired, irritable, and craving more sugar. This roller coaster makes it difficult to focus, stay productive, and make smart food choices throughout the day. It's a vicious cycle that starts with a single bite of a seemingly innocent muffin, granola bar, or sandwich. Now contrast that with whole, nutrient-dense real foods. These are foods that are as close to their natural state as possible. Things like vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, eggs, fish, and pasture-raised meats. These foods are rich in fiber, which slows digestion and promotes stable blood sugar. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and phytonutrients that support cellular health, immune function, and brain performance. They digest slowly, keeping you fuller longer and preventing the energy dips and mood swings that come from processed foods. Whole foods also nourish your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive tract that play a critical role in immune function, metabolism, and even mental health. Fiber from vegetables, legumes, and whole grains feeds beneficial bacteria, while processed carbs and added sugars fuel harmful bacteria and yeast. This imbalance in gut flora, known as dysbiosis, can lead to inflammation, bloating, poor digestion, skin problems, and weakened immunity. Replacing processed carbs with real foods doesn't mean cutting out all carbs. It means choosing carbs that are slow digesting, high in fiber, and naturally rich in nutrients. Sweet potatoes, quinoa, oat, wild rice, lentils, and beans are all excellent sources of complex carbohydrates that provide lasting energy and support metabolic health. When combined with protein and healthy fats, these carbs become even more effective at stabilizing blood sugar and supporting overall vitality. Fruit, often feared for their sugar content, are actually a great choice when eaten in whole form and in moderation. They contain fiber, water, antioxidants, and a variety of plant compounds that promote health and prevent disease. Berries, apples, pears, and citrus fruits are particularly good options, offering low glycemic impact and high nutritional value. The key is to eat them in their natural state, not as juice, dried snacks, or sugar-laden fruit bars. Making this switch isn't just about individual foods. It's about a different way of thinking about eating. It means moving away from convenience and marketing and toward intention and nourishment. Instead of grabbing a packaged bar or microwavable breakfast sandwich, take a few minutes to prepare a bowl of eggs with sauteed greens and avocado. Instead of reaching for white toast with jam, try steel-cut oats with chia seeds, walnuts, and fresh berries. These changes may seem small, but they add up to big differences in how you feel and function. The benefits go beyond physical health. Eating real food helps you reconnect with your body and its needs. It builds a stronger relationship with nourishment, one based on listening to hunger and fullness cues rather than reacting to cravings and crashes. It fosters mindfulness and appreciation for where your food comes from and how it affects your well-being. In a world that constantly pushes fast, easy, and sweet, choosing whole, nutrient-dense food is a radical act of self-care. It requires effort, yes, but it also delivers profound rewards, better energy, clearer thinking, balanced mood, and long-term protection against disease. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to eliminate all processed carbs overnight. Start by swapping one food at a time. Replace sugary cereal with eggs and vegetables. Trade in white rice for quinoa or cauliflower rice. Choose whole fruit over fruit juice. Little by little, your palate will adjust, your cravings will change, and your body will thank you. It's also important to remember that food is not just fuel, it's information. Every bite you eat sends a message to your cells, telling them how to function, how to grow, how to heal. When you choose processed carbs, the message is confusion, inflammation, and stress. When you choose whole, nutrient-dense foods, the message is clarity, repair, and strength. The power to send the right message lies in your hands every single morning. So the next time you sit down for breakfast, ask yourself, am I eating something that will build me up or break me down? Your answer can shape the course of your entire day, and, over time, your life.